In a podcast land where thoughts collide, Brian and Craig will be your guide. No topic too small, no tale too tall. Tune in, laugh out, you'll have a ball. From mysteries deep to light-hearted jokes in a poker rhythm where laughter invokes. Untitled is their name, the fun untamed. Each episode a ride, this shows their claim. Untitled, Brian and Craig, get ready for a twist and a leg shake. In a quirky world where anything goes, join the ride as the madness flows.
That's what I was doing.
Okay. You were doing your own sound effects too, though. Flash or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah.
Yo, what is that? Why are you saying that?
I don't know. I don't know why I say things. I'm going to be honest with you.
Flash. We sing. Oh yeah, it's a little Flash Gordon-y to start the show today.
A
for
classic,
reasons.
by the way.
It is for sure.
It's also a terrible movie, but
not great. Back in the 70s, when, well, apart from Star Wars, science fiction was mostly cringe.
Oh, hey, don't you be talking bad about Barbarella now?
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Actually, Barbarella was pretty bad. It's not even good sci-fi. Let's be honest. It's just Jane Fonda banging dudes in like 1080. It's weird.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say.
Oh,
I will say that most things from the 70s have not aged well. Like I watched a few years ago the movie Taxi Driver, which is supposed to be like an all-time classic, and I'm just gonna say it. It's not good. I mean, it's got I'm walking here, but apart from that, it's problematic and weird. I don't know. Not a fan.
I will say it did not hold up. It is a classic of cinema viewed from the lens that when it was made, much like the other classics of cinema that don't hold up.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hold up. That's the problem. So if you see it for the first time in like 2017, you're going to be greatly disappointed. And even now in 2025, I imagine it hasn't gotten better.
No, it's still a problematic movie.
What's a problem?
We watched Jurassic Park. It was Kate's first time watching Jurassic Park.
Wait, when? What? When?
Like last weekend from '93, the first one.
I think it was 94.
Nope, 93. I looked it up.
Okay. Wow. That's the first time she's ever seen it?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And
does that hold up?
Yes, it does.
I would think it would. That was a good movie.
Although the crazy thing about it is that the CGI, like it was the first time that CGI was actually, passably good. And the downside right now is that it looks like the CGI is still good, but it looks like it's low res, like it's fuzzy.
Sure. Yeah, because it was 1993, and we'd never seen dinosaurs just walking out in movies like this. It was incredible. So
yeah.
Fun
fact about that movie: it gave my mom nightmares.
Was she worried about the clever girls coming to get her?
She was, specifically the raptors.
Yeah. I think she's probably not alone in that. There's probably a bunch. By the way, are we doing the show? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah, we are doing the show. Sorry, but I mean, that is something I did last week is watch Jurassic Park. So
yeah, okay, very good. Flash. Okay.
All
right, hi listeners. This is how we start the show this week, and I'm here for it. I like it. It's good.
I listened to the last one, Cenobites, and I'm a submarine captain.
Yep.
Still, that's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid. I love it.
I like how we start shows without really knowing if we've started the show or not. That's always good. So, hey, let's do this. Welcome to Untitled with Brian and Craig. My name is Craig.
And I'm Brian.
Hey, and this is our show. And sometimes we start it by talking about CGI from 1993, because why wouldn't you start a show that way? So,
oh man, I could talk about bad movies. I could talk about movies all day, but
yes, we're aware.
That's beside the point.
We are aware. Yeah. Brian, I think this is a very important moment in our history as a show, because there comes a moment in every podcast when the podcasters have to decide, because this moment comes for all. I think, I'm pretty sure, where they have to decide: are we really going to do a show that's like almost entirely centers around cows, or are we not going to do that? And I think most podcasters choose not to.
Are we a cow podcast today? I mean,
I think
we're usually a raccoon podcast.
I know. We're veining out into different types of North American critters, I think, today. But yeah, I think today we might have to put this under the cow category of podcast,
Mm.
because it's a cow day. And
Oh,
in fact, to celebrate, I'm wearing my Buffalo Bills hat because it's the closest thing that I could come to like having a cow hat. So it just, I'm
okay.
trying to settle into the whole vibe of the cow show. So welcome to the cow
Yeah.
show, everyone.
Oh, I forgot goose warning, level 2. Level 2 goose
Oh,
warning.
good. It's a very low goose warning. It's almost level 1, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I did almost run them down, and we all know how I feel about Canadian geese. If I actually hit a Canadian goose while driving, I would actually not feel bad because
I would
they
consider
are
that to be a
evil creatures.
victory. Yeah.
Yeah,
They are the worst. We started this show. We first back in October did our first one. We kind of were like, you can't trust raccoons, and you still can't really trust
you
raccoons.
still can't
But I
trust
think
them.
they're the heroes in our story compared to Canadian geese, who are clearly the enemy.
That's true. Also,
Yeah,
did you know that raccoons are riding boars and fighting each other in the deep south? I did not know this.
they're riding boars and fighting each other.
Yeah,
Like because they've been trained by humans, or is this just a natural behavior?
jury's still out, but it might
Okay,
have been
okay.
a adapted or not adapted, emergent behavior.
I think I like the idea that raccoons just are starting to domesticate boars, like all on their own, and then like they take care of the boars and they love the boars, and they all have their steeds, and they're just riding through the southeast of the United States, fashioning lances which they can hold in their weird little raccoon hands, and
They're weird.
having little jousts on the backs of boarback riding.
Boarback riding.
Yeah,
Well, I guess boars are kind of tangentially. Now, are they bovine? I don't know if they are. Hmm.
I don't think so. I think they're more like pigs, right? Like,
Oh yeah. But are
yeah.
pigs bovine? Well, we'll figure this out.
I don't think pigs are bovine, although we will be talking bovine today. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've got
I
more cow content than I really need today. It's potentially a problem.
We went to a regular joint for food this week, so it was not a new place. But
Okay,
I did start riding my bike to work.
okay, that's good.
12 and a half miles one way. I burn 1,500 calories a day
That's good.
if I do that,
That's
which is
good.
really good.
Yeah.
So
How long
I'm
does it
trying
take?
to.
12 miles. So that's probably like an hour. Maybe not quite that.
No, it's about 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I have a commuter e-bike and I am booking it.
Well, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
And the weather is no longer snowy in Buffalo, I'm
It's
assuming.
not snowing, but it's been violently raining the past week, so there's that.
Oh, that's a bummer. I'm hoping you're not riding your bike in on the rainy days, are you? Or maybe you are. I
Mom,
don't know. I don't know. Are you hardcore?
yeah, Mama didn't raise a quitter.
Okay, I like that for you. I wouldn't want to ride a bike 12 miles down in a torrential downpour, but
Well,
I'm weak.
I'll admit to you, it is miserable. So there's that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun, but it's economical and good for you. So I guess that's good. Although when you arrive at the station super early in the morning and you're soaking wet, how do you handle that? Just be damp
Towel
for a
off.
while?
Yeah, towel off. I always bring a set of clothes though, an extra set of clothes.
Oh, that's
so.
smart. That's good. It's
Yeah.
almost like you're getting out of like the world's worst shower.
Yeah. Nature shower, one could say.
Nature shower. That sounds like some kind of natural product that I don't want anything to do with.
Yeah, you do, because they're the sponsor of our show, Nature Shower, in 1 cent, unscented.
Gross. We do anti-commercials. People pay us, and then we talk shit about their products. It's a new business model.
Much like
Don't-
Nature Shower, it's overpriced and you can only buy it at Whole Foods.
You don't want this, but they're paying us, so hey, try your luck with it. But I personally, my personal recommendation is to avoid our sponsor at all costs because gross.
Nature Shower, are you clean? You don't know.
No, we doubt it. Seems unlikely. Nature shower.
All right. Well, That's oh, I also mounted my dishwasher, which took longer than it ever should have, but home
That's
home
good.
improvement
That's
projects always take forever.
It's always nice to have them mounted so that they don't rock around and you're worried that it's gonna break or leak or something. So that's good.
Yeah.
Slowly, Brian's house is coming together. We love
Yes.
that for you.
Very slowly. Incredibly slowly.
Oh, oh, big news! Big news. I mean, ooh, even Brian will do the noise sometimes. It's not that kind of news. It's not the news.
Oh, well, okay.
It's just news. This is you're already aware of it. Buffalo Bills tickets have been purchased as of this morning.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we're coming together in
Yes.
September to cheer for our favorite NFC East team. Not NFC. Oh my goodness,
AFC.
AFC team. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I know better than that. AFC
you
East
do.
team. And
Even
we
I
have the
knew
tickets
that.
for it. I know that's impressive. That is impressive that you would know that. I'm proud of you. Good job. So,
And will we be smuggling in snacks? Yes.
of course we'll be I don't even think it's smuggling. I think you're allowed to bring in snacks. Maybe I don't know for sure, but
Well, I know you're not allowed to bring in beer, so that makes me sad.
no, you're definitely
I
not allowed to
also,
bring in beer.
well, yeah, I also don't want to spend, the $80,000 on beer.
No, no, I don't either. No, I tend to go when I go to a sporting event. I tend to have something beforehand, and then kind of go into a fast of food and drink, or maybe sneak in some snacks or something.
Hmm.
Maybe buy one beer or one soda at the game, maybe, although not always, and
Okay.
often not, and then get something
Hmm.
afterwards because
Oh,
paying like $19 for a beer is a terrible idea.
yeah, no, I'm gonna say right now that's bullshit. So, yeah.
What- You don't have to try to talk me into not buying anything at the stadium. I'm happy to try to just make it through just on cheering alone, and then get
Although
something
I
out.
do have to say this, and it must be said, we have to bring in some meat so that we can, and hear me out, I gotta figure out how this works, because we are gonna go meet our good friend Pinto Ron,
Oh,
the
okay, so he
legendary
can.
tailgater.
Well, if he's a tailgater, we just bring it in beforehand, and then they cook it at the tailgate, my
Correct,
friend. That's
correct,
how
yes.
it's done. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna have to bring in our meats, and then he cooks it, and then, but I think that's how it works, right? That's how tailgating works?
I mean, generally, I don't. If you don't know Pinto Ron, I don't know if people just bring him raw meat and expect him to
Oh, they
cook it,
do.
but maybe they do. They do. That's a thing. Okay.
Hey, dude, that is a whole ass thing with Pinto Ron.
Well, if
From
that's
what he has told me, from the man
okay.
himself.
Okay. Well, if you know Pinto Ron personally, then
I
that.
don't
That's
know him personally, but
if you
I have talked to him.
well, if you have a existing pseudo relationship which has allowed you to have a conversation, we'll
Okay,
say
there
it
we
that
go.
way. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, I feel like we could maybe make that happen. It's a tailgate. As long as we're dressed in Buffalo Bills gear, I imagine we'll be welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be
Yeah.
fine. And as long as you
Yeah.
say "Go Bills,"
Go
we'll be fine.
Bills.
Go
Yeah.
Bills.
I
We'll be
won't wear
fine.
any Bronco stuff so I won't confuse anyone at the Bills Saints game. But just know that orange and blue is still in my heart, not Buffalo Bills blue and red. But I do enjoy the Bills, and I will be cheering for them that day. So
I mean, yeah. How can you not cheer on Buffalo Jesus, Josh Allen, who's getting
yeah.
married? I think in like a day.
Oh, is it this weekend?
I think so.
The royal wedding?
The royal wedding.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Anyhow, this is a very casual day today so far. I'm
It is.
enjoying it. It's good. Uh,
Last week was pretty weird. The vibes were
w-
off last week, but the
they
vibes are
were.
back on. We're back on track now.
I think so. I think so. We might be a little too casual for our own good this week, but I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's good. I feel like that's what cows would want from us, Brian. Just to be
Casual
kind of casual.
cows.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So instead of me telling you what I did this week, because mostly what I did this week is just work from home and work my butt off, and I still don't have a car, so I'm not going anywhere hardly at all.
Oof.
Although wait, I do have one thing to share because we did on Wednesday night go and do trivia after Pokemon Go Wednesday
Oh
night
man.
raids. It was quite fun, and we will probably be doing it again. But I would like to say, for the record, that our team did in fact win
No.
$25 gift card for being the number one team this week.
Hey.
So
Actually, real quick, I mean, I have a buddy here. So there's a place called the New York Beer Project, which I was gonna
yeah,
take you anyway. They
okay.
do trivia, I think Thursday nights. You want to
Oh,
do
we
trivia?
absolutely, dude. If you're gonna
Cool.
be awake at trivia night time,
I
we could.
will. I will basically get off of work that day, pick you up at the airport, take a nap. I'm sorry, Craig. I have to ignore you for a few hours, and then we
No,
can.
dude, you got to be awake. Yeah, no, let's go do
we can go
trivia.
do
That
that.
sounds amazing. That sounds
Yeah,
great. So,
that'll be great.
yeah, and we've decided that our team name each week. Well, we're not going to go every week, but we are going to go back because we had a very good time at the Varsity
Mhm.
Inn this week. And this week we're going to do a Pokemon themed pun like every week, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
So for the first week we were Spiel Team 6.
Okay, that's amazing.
I came up with that. I was very proud. I think for the next one we're gonna be Can You Diglett?
Okay, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, Lauren came up with that one. So yeah, so we're just gonna have
I
to keep.
love a good Warriors pun.
You've got to. You've got to.
And
Warriors come
you,
out to
Diglett.
play. It's pretty good. That movie holds up. I love Warriors. I mean, it's
Actually,
weird.
I just watched it for the first time a couple months ago, and yeah, it holds up.
It's good. Like it's really good. It's got
It
weird baseball clowns,
yep.
but somehow it still works.
And
I like
it's
that.
and it shows New York City and it's dirty as hell, and we
Uh
love a
huh.
dirty as hell New York City movie.
You've really got to. So yeah. Okay, so we won, and not the only reason one. Going into the final thing, you have to like wager how many points you want to wager
Right.
for the final question. And we were 1 point behind first place going in, so we wagered everything. And it turns
Oh,
out
you did
that
all or nothing?
yeah, we were all in. We were all in. And it turns out that every single team also was all in. So
Oh no.
everybody wagered everything.
Amazing.
But the good news is that we were the only team that got the final question.
Wow. So you won everything.
So we won everything and slaughtered everyone else because nobody else got it. And this is a question that's maybe not completely in your wheelhouse, but it is a movie related question. So
Okay.
I'm gonna ask it to you.
The winning question?
Yeah, the winning question. Because
Okay.
I knew this because personal experience of just being alive through this era, I remembered this particular fact. And as the guy was reading the question, you have 30 seconds to submit your
Right.
answer. And it's you write it down on paper and then bring it up to him or whatever. But I knew the answer before he was finished reading the question, so I didn't even consult with the rest of my teammates. There were like 7 of us there.
Yeah.
I just started writing the answer, and he had not finished asking the question, and I set it down on him as he was finishing. I set it down on his little console, like, okay, here you go, we win, because I knew the answer, and everybody else was like, they didn't even like, I didn't even tell them, like the rest of my
You're
teammates were
just
just like,
like,
what's
here it
he
is.
doing? Yeah, because sometimes you just know, and you don't need to consult with anyone else. Now, if I had been wrong, that would have been a bad move. But the
Oh
thing is,
yeah, that would have been really awkward.
I was not wrong, so it worked out just fine, and we won. But the question was, in 1991, this Disney princess movie was the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture before eventually losing to Silence of the Lambs.
In 1991. Oh, wasn't that
Correct.
Little Mermaid?
That is incorrect. I think a lot of people guessed
Really?
that. No, it was.
Oh wait, no, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
That's right.
correct. Yep, correct. And
Oh,
I
that's
just
right.
happened.
Because Little Mermaid was 89, Beauty and the Beast was 91. That's
That
correct.
is correct. That is
Okay.
correct. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well done, sir. Your movie bona fides coming
Well,
through strongly.
because I was like, oh yeah, it's Little Mermaid. And then I'm like, no, wait a minute. 91 is when it came to VHS, and then 89 is when it actually when it
There you
released. So
go.
there we go. That's
Yeah.
where it came out. So okay.
And when I was in high school, I was obsessed with the Oscars. So the fact that this was the first time that a Disney movie had ever been nominated for Best Picture, or just, animated film had
Mm-hmm.
ever been nominated for Best Picture, that just stuck in my head for, oh good lord, how long ago was 19? Is that 34 years ago?
34 years ago, yeah. Listen,
Oh,
I just want to say one thing about the Oscars. First of
yeah.
all, the thing that really pisses me off is that while I haven't seen Anora yet, I feel that The Substance should have won Best Picture only because it was a horror movie. And it would have been the first horror movie to ever win the Oscar. And that's why I wanted it to win.
Okay, this is how little I care about the Oscars now. I don't know what won Best Picture this year.
Anora.
Honora did. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. So
It's basically a Cinderella story without the happy ending, essentially.
okay, all right.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because movies since the pandemic. I don't know. Like, I just can't find the enthusiasm for them. I've just turned entirely into a prestige TV kind of guy. I like that, but
Yeah.
movies, I barely even know what's in theaters. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I kind of wait for them to come out. Anyways.
yeah. Generally, I do as well. When's the last time I saw a movie in a theater? I can't even remember. It's been a long time. So anyhow, that's what I did this week. Should we do the news or should I do some cow facts? Just because we need to get the cow facts out. Which way would you like to pivot? Do you want to do
Are
news
the
first?
news cow related?
I mean, it is a cow podcast, Brian.
That's true. So let's
yes.
do the news and then we can do the cow
Okay.
facts.
Okay, very good. So all right. I'm doing it quieter now. I think
I did see that. I think
yeah.
that's the good way of doing it. Yes.
I think it is. Hopefully I'm not blowing anyone's speakers out. If I am, I also don't care that much. I hope that your speakers are fine. I'm trying to be considerate, but also
I've
I
been
have to make
mastering them down. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, yeah. And I've got Brian to fix it in post, so that's always good. So anyway,
Yes,
the news. And we're gonna actually start with one story that isn't cow related because as much as I want to talk about cows today, I have to. This isn't a full version of our recurring segment, World Record Watch this week, but it is a world record that happened this week, and it's just one. And we're going to talk about it because Brian, the record for people coming together dressed as Smurfs was broken this week in France.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. The town of Landerneau in France's Brittany region has attempted 2 times before to break the Smurfs record, but they had fallen short 2 different times until this week. This week, they were able to finally break the record. Now this can go the wrong way because you can guess way too high and then suddenly the actual record seems not that great, or you could guess too low and be surprised. But what do you suppose, Brian, just off the top of your head, the record for most people gathering together in one place dressed as Smurfs is?
300 people.
Oh, my sweet summer child. Not even
that
close.
was conservative. That was conservative.
Yeah, good. No, that's the good way to go though, because if you had said 400,000 people, then that would have made the actual answer seem not that great. But the previous record was held by a town in Germany in 2019 who had gotten together 2,762 people. And Landernau, because Smurfs were created by a man named Peyo, who is a French, the French people wanted the Smurf record for obvious reasons.
The Smurfs are very strange as a show, but
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Smurfs are weird.
Like, why did Gargamel want to eat them? Like, what's the deal with that?
I mean, maybe they're a delicacy. Who are we to judge? Smurfs might taste delicious.
Anyways, all right. So, did you say the record? Sorry,
I have not set the record yet, but the new record is 3,076 people dressed as Smurfs.
Okay, that's
a lot of people.
Impressive. Yeah, that's a lot of people, but also impressive.
And there's a video on Instagram of all of these people dressed as Smurfs, and they go all out. Like, they're all blue faced, and they have the weird white hats, and they have white pants. Against blue people, yes, but fortunately there are no blue people anymore. They've all gone extinct. The extinction of blue people.
I guess Gargamel ate them all.
He might have. Maybe he just ate all the big blue people, and so all that's left are Smurfs, and he's trying to eat them because he remembers the taste. But
he remembers the taste.
He's like, I need that blue flesh on my lips. So delicious.
I require blue flesh, the flesh of the blues.
So yes, theoretically it would have been racist against blue people, but the blue people have gone extinct thanks to the mass genocide of blue people. Not a phrase I was anticipating uttering this week. The mass extinction of blue people, but here we are. So yeah, 3,076 Smurf all gathering together in one little town.
Okay,
which I'm here for. I think that's good. I think it's great that it's back in France where it belongs, and I hope that nobody else tries to break the record in Belgium or South Africa or something. Like, we don't need that.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
It does. So all right, that's our non-cow news of the week, Brian.
Okay, get to the cow facts. Get to cow news.
This is cow news right here. A cow was found alive on an Australian beach this week, Brian, after being carried 11 miles away from where it had got caught up in floodwaters and pushed out to sea. The cow managed to live and was found alive on the sands of Old War Beach on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. It was not in super great shape, but still alive and walking on the beach very gingerly. And a man named, I see his last name, I don't see his first name. This is not good. A man named Phillipson. Maybe he's just like excuse me, it's not a man. Boy, that's gender. I just
God,
assumed. Like, what do you mean? The
you
doctor was
just
a woman?
assumed.
I just
Yeah,
said that. The cow finder was a woman?
yeah,
Yeah,
wow, unforgivable, sir.
it is. It is. I'm sorry, Layla Phillipson found the cow alive on the beach, took some photos of it, and put it on like a local, I don't know,
Yeah,
like the next door version in Australia, whatever next door is in Australia, and said,
yeah.
"Hey, oh, the Terry
That's a cow.
Community Notice Board," and they're like, "Hey, you want to know whose cow this is?" And yeah, somebody from 11 miles away like found, oh, that's our cow. It survived. Apparently, a lot of them got carried away. Not all survived, but this one cow just kind of it made it, Brian, in the ocean for 11 miles and then washed up on shore. So good job, cow. Way to go.
Good job, cow.
Yeah, the cow is being taken care of by a veterinarian and is expected to make a full recovery
We love
and
it.
head back home. So good job, cow.
Good job, cow.
Cows find a way. The
Just
next
like
story
life.
is even yes, life and cows. Oh, that's right. A reference
That,
back to our
yeah. Reference
yeah.
back to
Look at that.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, throwback to 18 minutes ago or whatever. How long it's been.
Yeah, I actually 18 minutes ago.
There you go. See, I got the internal clock going. There you are, Brian. There is a town in Switzerland.
Okay.
I think we did a story about Switzerland, and then it sent me on a whole Swedish or Swiss or whatever thing last week. But
Yes,
no,
it's Swiss, not Swedish. We went
it
over
is
this.
Swiss. I know. But I just keep doing stories in Switzerland so that I can have the same discussion because I love it. The Alpine village of Blatten in southern Switzerland. It needed to be evacuated this week because there is a
Oh no.
threat of a rock slide from unstable terrain above the settlement. So apparently they're worried that the whole town is going to get basically pushed down the mountain and obliterated due to landslides of
Jesus.
rocks
Okay.
that are unstable. There are about 300 people that live in the village and 52 cows, Brian.
52 cows. Okay.
52 cows and 300 people for a ratio of about 6 people for every cow, approximately.
That's a lot.
I mean, it seems like it, yeah. So I don't think that Denver has that many cows.
I
It
don't
would
think
smell a
so
lot
either.
worse. Yeah. I mean,
Oof.
we do have
Yeah,
some
you're
cows,
probably
but
right.
yeah. They're mostly up like in Greeley area. So anyway, so the cows, some of them were able to be evacuated on foot down the roads and stuff, but not all of them. Apparently, some of them were older or more feeble or just unable. They're too big for the roads down like the passable area that was under threat of rock slide.
Okay.
But they wanted to get the cows out, Brian. So what do you do when you can't get the cow down the road, but you want to make sure it lives and doesn't get obliterated by landslide?
You stampede? Question mark?
That seems like a bad plan, Brian. If there's threat of
Well,
rock slide, you don't want to stampede because I feel like that would probably exacerbate the landslide threat. So interesting theory, but no, that is not what they
wow.
did.
Did you just say interesting theory, but wrong?
But wrong. No, the actual answer is way more fun. Brian, what they did is they got a helicopter and they airlifted cows out of the
That's
town
actually kind
to
of
the
funny.
bottom of the mountain.
They
Oh,
just airlifted the cows to the. Okay.
they airlifted the cows, and you have not lived until you've seen a video of a helicopter airlifting a cow, because it's not what you expect to see. The cow is
Yeah, that's something I would have not expected to see either.
no, it's a tremendous video, and if I can find it on Instagram, I will send it to you. Or just do a search for cow airlifted. You will see a cow relatively high in the air, and then landing and very gingerly. It's amazing the care that they're able to slowly set this cow down on the ground, and then several. I was going to say shepherds, but that's sheep. What ranchers?
Yeah,
What are the people?
ranchers,
I suppose so. People who care for cows, cow herders,
farmers,
slowly giving
ranchers,
farmers, ranchers, etc. I don't know. Cow folk. The cow
cow
is
folk.
slowly and gently lowered to the ground, and everybody is loving on the cow and rubbing his head and like it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be all right, Bessie. And then I don't know if the cow's
Gonna
name was
be all
Bessie.
right.
I made that up. Truth comes first here. We can't just make up names for
You just
cows
friggin'
without calling
lied.
it out.
Wow.
No, I did not lie because I immediately told you that it was not true. So that's not a lie. If you
For
say
saying
something
if
untrue,
you made you made an untruth. You said an untruth, but you
yeah,
just made
but
it
then
up for comedic effect. Okay, that's okay.
yeah, exactly. And then I called it out as untrue, so because truth comes first, Brian, or actually it comes second in this compared to the
In this event,
first
yes.
first you have to say the name Bessie, and then you have to say that it's not true. So in that case, truth came second. But that's not usually our vibe around here. So we'll just say that truth comes first. Anyhow, cow.
Yes.
They got all the cows out. I don't know how many had to be airlifted versus. Well, I've only seen a video of one cow being lifted up because once you've seen a cow being airlifted, it doesn't feel like you need to do it for all 37 or however many cows. Although
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to seeing 37 different cows airlifted and then dropped. I might watch that. So, but I didn't.
I think I'd watch that too.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? You would definitely want to see cows being airlifted. It's just a thing that everyone probably wants to see at one point or another in their
I
life.
think
So,
so too.
yeah. So the cows are safe. The people are safe. I don't know that a landslide has happened to obliterate the town, but if it does, no cows will be harmed in the landslide. So that's good.
No cows will be harmed. No cows will be harmed.
We're
We
harmed
like that.
in the making of this rock slide. So anyway, I'm Craig, and that is the cow news.
The cow news.
The cow news. All right. Should I talk about cows for a little bit before we are we hearing about Pokemon manga today?
Yeah,
I
the
heard-
absolute horror show that is the Pokemon manga.
I've heard I haven't I did no research as requested.
Mm-hmm.
So we will get to that, but first let's talk a little bit about cows because Brian,
Cows.
back in February, I was in an elevator, and it was one of those elevators that has like the little TV screen that has like little fun facts.
Mm-hmm.
And the fun fact on the elevator for that day was cows have best friends.
They do have best friends.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to discover more about this because it didn't give any details. It just said cows have best friends. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I
They
need to
also
look.
like to play. They also like to play with dogs.
They like to play, period, and we'll get to that. But I wrote down a note on my phone in the notes app that just said cows have best friends, and it's been sitting there for 3 months now. And every time I go into my notes app, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to research that because cows having best friends is the kind of thing that it seems like an entrance into a what's the word? My brain is not working. Too early in the morning.
An entry drug to like a
I went
gateway
down
drug.
a rabbit hole is what I'm trying.
Oh, there we go. A rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I needed to see how deep the rabbit hole would go. Brian, it
The
turns
rabbit
out
hole goes deep.
the cow rabbit hole, or is it just a cow hole? I don't care for that.
Hole. Nope, don't like that either. Moving on.
The cow hole runs deep, Brian.
That's the name of the episode.
It might be. Although I also like something about the taste of blue flesh on my lips, so I don't know.
The cow hole runs deep. I crave blue flesh.
I crave blue flesh.
A pretty good one, actually.
That's not terrible. So, yeah, as I said, the cow hole runs deep. I started reading about cows, and it turns out once you start reading about cows, you just kind of want to keep reading about cows because there's a lot of interesting things about cows. But the best friend thing was, I thought, kind of adorable.
That is
back
super adorable.
It really is. In 2009, there was this study that they did on cow relationships. And they found out that cows generally hang out with another cow that's kind of their best friend, and like they're buds, and they love each other, and they do better when they're with their best friend. Like they took these cows and they would place them in pens. First, they would place them in pens with just a strange cow, like a cow they don't know.
Okay.
Just to see how it. And their stress levels were like super high, and the cortisol levels would jump up a ton, and like they were stressed out. And then they would put this same cow in this same pen, but they would put it in with their best friend, and their stress levels were like noticeably lower, like way better because they're with their pals. And yeah, and when they're with their best friends, like life goes better, just like people. Like
that's true, just like people.
If you're with your friends, you have a much better time than if you're with complete strangers. Like I would much rather go to a party where I know, at least a few people at the party instead of just going in. Like you get to know people, and that's fun too. But my stress levels are lower too because I also do better when I'm with my friends. But cows apparently even more so. They do much better when they're with their best friend. So I love that.
We like
and
that.
it is usually one cow. It's usually like they pair up, like they're buds, And the way that they show appreciation for each other is they like lick their heads and necks, and like
Hmm.
this is a behavior that is like kind of just showing love because it only improves the mood and the stress levels and the everything of the cow who's actually getting licked. So it's like
Really?
the cow. The cow who does it is doing it because they care for their friend and they want them to feel better and feel good. So they like lick their friends,
Okay, that's
and their
super
friends
cute.
and their friends love it. I know, right? It's great, Brian. There are so many cow facts that are amazing. Cows are super
Cows are
wonderful
pretty
creatures.
great.
Now, when you think about cows generally, though, at least before I started reading about them, I didn't think much of cows. I'll be honest, because they just kind of all seem the same. They kind of seem like vacant-eyed, dumb animals that just kind of stand on the side of the road, and there's not
Yeah,
much to them. Yeah, and that I wouldn't think that there was a huge difference from cow to cow, but apparently cows are amazingly diverse in their personalities.
really. Hmm.
Like there are like super nice cows that love to be loved on that will give affection to their no, here I go again, cow herders,
Here I
ranchers,
go again, cow.
the people that take the
Cars.
people that take care of them, farmers, whatever there are. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the
Okay.
people that take care of cows. There's like really sweet cows that are wonderful friends to man and that are great. There are cows that are very timid. There are cows that are very brave. Usually, like when there's a hole in a fence or something, it's because the really brave cows, which are usually always the same ones, are the ones that have like kind of found it and then start pushing on
Mhm.
it, and they're like the adventurous cows. And it's always like the same ones. Like the cows that are going to be adventurous are always the adventurous cows because that's just their personality. They have a
Yeah.
huge rate. There are apparently asshole cows that as you like milking them, they like will swing their tails in your face and like any
Not
dairy
surprised.
farmer. No, yeah, but like not all of them are that way. Just some of them are assholes and like they're jerks and like the dairy farmers know which ones are that and like they give them names sometimes of like this is jerk ass Betty or whatever like because they don't like her or
Jerk
they
ass Betty. Love that.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's an actual name. Again, I made it up much like Bessie. It's, but this
That's
isn't the
fair.
news, so I can lie if I want to.
That's
But
true.
I'm not
That's
lying
true.
because these are all true facts about cows. So yeah, the cows are amazing, and they have all sorts of different personality types. And Brian, they do better in community.
Hmm.
Like if you just have a cow, it's not going to do super well by itself. But when there's like a lot of cows all together, they not only produce more milk, but they also just live better lives. And
Really
they're
interesting.
they're they're community creatures. They need to be together to really do well.
That's actually
And
fascinating.
cows also love a challenge. They like to play games. They like to play with balls. They also like to like. There are scientists who have given cows like puzzles to try to solve, and then like
Mhm.
measure their response. And the cows almost it's like they can tell somehow the scientists have been able to tell like based on the chemicals in their brains and stuff that like when they solve a puzzle they get appreciation like they get satisfaction from having solved the puzzle, which
Hmm.
I think is kind of awesome. So like they love to play. They like to figure
That
things out.
is actually
They're
really, really cool.
it really is. They're way smarter than you would think. Although they are a little dumb in some ways because cows can have best friends, but they don't remember them very well. So like
Oh no.
if you separate them for like 3 weeks and then bring them back together, they won't remember that they were best friends with that same cow. Like they're like goldfish. They don't have a real long memory.
Oh, sad.
I know. So like you can't separate them for too long and have them still remain best friends, which is kind of a bummer.
That is a bummer.
But that's okay. Also, one of the few animals in English language that doesn't really have a name for the entire species, which I thought
Hmm.
was because a cow is strictly one of the you can say cattle, but that's also a name for like all of them. It's not like if you say duck, that can be a male duck, that could be a female duck.
Right.
Duck is yeah, elephant. It can be a little baby elephant. It can be a
Right.
male elephant, that kind of thing. If you say cow, that is one of these animals that has given birth to at least one calf and now produces milk.
Hmm.
If they haven't given birth yet, they're called a heifer. If they are male, they are called a bull, and if they are a castrated male, they are steer. But there's not like a word that means that animal.
Interesting. Hmm.
right? I know there should be though. So, but there's not. It's just whatever you say. I mean, people say cows, but technically, if you
Right.
call a bull a cow, that's not right. So
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
you totally are.
Interesting.
So yeah. So cattle is, I guess, the closest to that, but you wouldn't say, "Oh, look, that's a cattle," because that doesn't make
Right.
sense. No, there is no word for that. So I think we really need to come up with a word for that at some point, just so
Ooh.
that we can say, "Oh, look at all that." But I don't know what that word would be, and I'm not here to solve that problem, at
Right.
least not yet. Yeah. So yeah. So um, other things that I like that they like to play. You've heard of cow tipping before as like a
Yes.
thing that people almost certainly not a real thing.
Oh.
Uh, I know. Because cows generally tend to sleep lying down. So the whole idea of them being asleep standing up and then you could push them over, almost
Hmm.
impossible. Also,
Lied
to
to.
tip over a cow would require an exertion of 2,910 newtons of force, meaning it would take
That's
much more than human strength to actually push over a cow. And if you don't believe that, and actually to be able to get, or what experts when they want to tip over a cow, like to get them on their side for like surgeries or to
hmm
investigate or whatever, they use a table and
Yeah.
yeah. So like if you've heard stories of people doing cow tipping or someone tries to take you cow tipping, don't be prepared for success. You're probably not going to get that to work there. So also cows are responsible for 14.5% of all greenhouse gas emissions.
I did know that.
Yep, which I think is pretty great. They like to fart a lot, and they produce
Uh,
between 250 and 500 liters of methane gas per day, Brian,
that
which
seems like
is
a
a lot
lot.
of methane. It does seem like a lot of methane. I don't know how you measure a liter of methane because liter seems like a liquid measurement,
It's
and I don't know. Yeah,
who knows the ins and outs of
of measuring gas. Yeah,
well, no, who knows
not
the ins and outs of the metric system.
yeah, but I mean, even if it was cups of gas of methane gas, I don't know how you'd measure that either. So it's not just metric problem. It's a general volume problem that I don't understand. So these are some of my other
True.
favorites. It takes a lot of squirts on an udder to get milk. In order to get 1 gallon of milk, it requires around 350 squirts on an udder. So like this is quite a process. I've never milked a
Okay,
cow.
that sounds like quite a bit. Okay, that I would just assume that you squeeze and up there you go.
Yeah, no, it's a whole process, dude. So they have
Hmm.
machines that do that now in like big dairies and stuff. But yeah, like the image you have of like somebody going back with a pail and just getting next to a cow and squeezing on
Yeah,
that takes a long time.
yeah. I feel like okay. Well, now we know.
Here are two of my more favorite weird facts about cows. Respect increases lactation. Um,
Okay.
yeah, researchers have found that if you name a cow, like give it a name,
Okay.
like and well, which I love to do as we've already discovered,
Yes.
and then treat her as an individual
Okay.
and like give her respect, that cow will produce almost 500 more pints of milk per year than if you don't do these things because cows are relational and they do better in a community where they're shown
That is
respect.
interesting.
It's awesome. I love that. Also, this is one of the weirder ones.
Oh,
Um,
geez. What are you gonna drop on me now?
Cows have an uncanny directional ability, Brian, and it manifests in a very strange way. Scientists at the University of Duisburg Essen in Germany
Essen.
have found that's what it says. I'm just reading that. Have found that cows tend to face either magnetic north or magnetic south when grazing, resting, or just standing in the fields.
Interesting.
Regardless of where the sun is positioned or the wind is blowing, they just tend to face either true magnetic north or true magnetic south. And I don't know how they know, like, they don't have compasses, so I don't
Hmm.
know how they do that. But apparently, this is something that they do. And what makes me really happy about this is scientists have literally no idea why this happens or why they would do this. But it is something that they have studied and
That
found
is
that
really interesting, actually.
cows love to stand facing magnetic north or south, which is super duper weird. So,
That is
also,
super duper
cows,
weird.
cows are very good swimmers, as our first news story taught us.
Yes.
It's, yes, they can swim really, really, really well, which is not what you would expect looking at a cow.
Truth.
but they're very strong swimmers. There are some places, like in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where cows have been swept out to sea by a hurricane, and then months later they're found 4 or 5 miles away because they just swam out in the ocean and then made their way back, and they're okay because just like our Australian cow, they're able to swim. And there are even places in Ireland where there's like this giant lake and there's really good grazing on this island, and the cows will just
So they
swim a few miles.
swim across. That's wild.
Yeah, just because hey, there's good food over there. Let's go get it. So
That's wild.
yep. You know how allegedly in bullfighting, the bullfighter uses a red cape because the color red makes them crazy?
Right.
That's not true.
Ah, damn
Cows
it.
cows are colorblind. They cannot or functionally colorblind. They can see a little bit. They say that like the color red just probably looks like a dull yellowish gray to them. So probably what makes bulls crazy is the matador waving like a madman and being all cocky and ridiculous as
Being
matadors
a
tend
jerk.
to do. Yeah. And then like stabbing and killing. Like let's not get into bullfighting is pretty gross. So
Yeah, bullfighting
don't
is
do
pretty nasty actually. Let's be
it
honest.
is. So cows also have an excellent sense of smell and can detect odors up to 6 miles away, which is how they know that there's good grazing, I guess, across the lake in the island. They just know to swim there because they
Insane
can
to
smell
me.
it.
That's insane.
6 miles away, though, dude. It's very good. It's good. And this is my final little note here. But some cows are worth more than their weight in gold. There was a cow in 2023 that a 1/3 ownership stake of it. This was in Brazil. Sold for 6.9 million reals. I don't know what that is, but I do know that that amount of money in American dollars is $1.44 million for a third of a cow, Brian.
That is insane. That must be one good cow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some kind of white cow that's very rare, and I don't know. But yeah, that 4.5-year-old cow is a white Mallour bred cow. It was named Viatina 19 FIV Maria Inmoves, which is a mouthful. Yeah, its total value was $4.3 million, which is a lot for one cow, I would say.
Yeah,
But
I would say.
Yeah. I learned even more about cows, but I'm not going to bore you anymore with any more cow facts. But needless to say, if you ever want to start reading about cows, settle in because there's a lot to learn, and they're amazing. And I just needed to share cow facts this week, so I have taken up more than my fair time on the show today. But that's I had to share cows because, like I said, sometimes you just get to the point where you either have to talk about cows or not talk about cows. And I chose the talk about route, Brian, because cows are amazing. So
yes,
there you are. I now turn the floor over to you and the horror of Pokemon manga, which is quite a transition.
Yes. So apparently, Pokemon manga, it's called Pokemon Adventures, I guess, and it's still going on. And the thing about it is, you think, oh, Pokemon, it's kind of kid friendly, right? Right. Wrong.
You would think.
Wrong. There are scenes in there when it gets to the black and white section of the manga, which is, for those of you who don't know, which is basically Japanese comic books. Unconscious gym leaders are crucified. They are tied up on crosses.
What?
Yep.
There's
not
like
nailed.
On genocide going on?
No, just the gym leaders. Just the gym leaders are tied. They're tied up on crosses. They're not nailed to the crosses. So that was weird. In the original Elite Four, their end goal was genocide, to kill all the people, which was kind of wild. In the original, in the original Pokemon, when they get to Lavender Town, so the ghost Pokemon they possess the corpses of other Pokemon. So this is illustrated in panel I'm looking at right now. It is a zombie Psyduck, like a decaying Psyduck. So that's disturbing.
Well, Brian, Pokemon don't die, they faint.
Well, not in the Pokemon manga.
Wow.
Apparently,
zombie Psyduck. Scary sounding.
Yeah, another one is apparently in Pokemon Adventures Yellow, one of the Dragon Tamer Lance basically sends a Dragonair to fire its Hyper Beam and like just blows up a huge portion of Vermilion City for no reason. Just like a good chunk of the city gone.
Is this like Godzilla, where it's like
Yeah, yeah, like atomic breath.
representation?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just
Okay,
casual atomization.
yeah. That seems
Uh,
Pokemon.
yeah. Arbok gets completely decapitated, like violently.
I mean, it's a
Which
snake, so people would probably be okay with that mostly, but
I
that's
mean,
not great.
yeah, it's a little bit crazy.
I,
Um,
I don't love it.
yeah. Apparently, gym leaders try to murder the main character, which is also pretty crazy. Try
I'm
basically.
assuming, I'm assuming the main character is not Ash Ketchum.
It's some guy named Red,
Okay,
but it is not.
I try to.
But Ash Ketchum is not the manga. That's the TV show, which is
Yes,
very
yes, yes. Different.
different. Yeah.
Okay.
Rayquaza kills a bunch of people, like straight up. And apparently, in the original series, all the heroes are turned into stone. Like the original protagonists are like turned to stone, and the bad guy gets away. So it's pretty wild.
Well, so the bad guy wins in Pokemon on the original series.
Yeah, yeah. According to
Whoa.
this, yeah,
I kind of like that, honestly. That's not. I don't hate it when the bad guy wins. Sometimes it's kind of. I mean, it gives stakes to things, so that it's not just always, oh, the good guy wins, yay.
yeah,
But that's yeah. I think the one that really got me the most so far is that gym leaders being crucified. Like I can understand why they would want to kill people if the stakes are, well, they're going to crucify me if I don't take care of you. It's like kill or be killed kind of thing.
yeah.
That's definitely not what I anticipated for Pokemon. Also, Zombie Psyduck will haunt my dreams.
Psyduck.
Because Psyduck
Or
is scary enough when it's just a
Sure.
regular Psyduck. One of the scarier Pokemon to me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of cute, but also kind of terrifying. So,
yeah. Also, our favorite noise.
I want a zombie Psyduck doing that laugh.
Psyduck. Oh man, I just want to share with you. I need to find like a very good live action like Yakuza movie. I need to watch one and show it to you when you're here because they
Okay.
all do that. They're like,
Y'all laugh.
yeah, they all
That's why I
laugh like
pointed
that.
out something.
It's crazy.
I pointed out something true when I said that basically every bad Japanese bad guy laughs like that. That makes me happy.
It's true. No, it's a cultural thing. It's kind
I
of like
love
the
it.
villain. It's kind of like the villain in every like American movie. You know, has their cackle. You know.
Sure. Absolutely.
Anyways. Anyhow.
Is that our manga?
Yeah,
Update?
that was it. That was it. And it apparently
What?
is still going. Apparently.
Is there anything in the manga where Miltank is involved? Just because I think that would really bring us together in a nice way today.
You know, I know what you're trying to do, and let me see. Pokemon manga, Miltank. See if
Miltank.
there's anything
Yeah.
weird.
If
There's
that would be
anything
great.
weird.
I want a zombie Miltank because that's a cow Pokemon for those who don't know, and it would seem like it would tie the room together. Is what I'm saying.
Apparently, nothing too crazy.
Oh,
It's just a super cute thing. Yeah, that's all I got.
I mean, Miltanks are kind of cute, but also they do shake their teats in a way I'm uncomfortable with.
I was just about to say that. They're like, I know what you want, boy. Come and get this milk.
Oh no! It's the Yakuza Miltank evil laugh.
Yakuza Miltank.
Oh my god!
Come and get this milk, boy. Yeah,
I don't care for that. What you just did, I don't like. I don't like it at all.
Well,
I'm laughing. I'm laughing to stop from crying. I think is what's happening. Also, it's very funny.
That's fair. It's also awful.
All right then, we have reached that moment.
Yes, I think I got one.
Okay, I'm here. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Okay, so we're gonna start off. They're gonna be in Greeley, Colorado. It's a bunch of like cow herders, right, or whatever they are.
Ranchers. What was the word I used? Cow herders is fun. I like that. Dairy farmers.
And so they're just taking care of their cows, all that stuff. And then they go to bed, and then one of them wakes up, and it's suddenly all Pokemon. Like they're all Miltanks. And it's like, what
Ooh.
the hell? What the hell's going on here? Like what? And like nobody says anything. They're like, what do you mean? It's all the same. And they have all these herds of Miltanks, and some of them are blue, the shiny ones. And then
Yeah.
some of them are Tauroses, and they're like, what? He's like, am I the only one that's crazy? And so he goes to the nearest clinic and is like, hey, am I hallucinating anything? And more and more he's noticing that like people have Pokemon. There's like Pokemon everywhere, and he's like, what's going on? Like I can't, like, is this okay? What's just going crazy, losing his mind. And then
Yeah.
and then he stumbles back onto his field, and he's like, this is crazy. And then one of the Miltanks, he can understand one of the Miltanks. So the Miltank's like, oh, you can understand me. We're best friends. And so they go on these adventures trying to figure out what's going on. And at the very end, very end, it just turns out that this guy has, plot twist. He's wandering around in a world that's actually like full of zombies, and the Miltank is his friend that's like trying to steer him away from danger.
Oh.
But it's all like zombie Pokemon and stuff. So, like
Wow.
zombie, zombie Psyducks, zombie Dragonairs, stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whoa, I like it. I
Plot
like it.
twist.
Didn't see that coming. I was thinking it was going to be like there's something wrong in his mind, like it's like a Shutter Island kind of ending where
Oh
suddenly,
no.
yeah, it's not that the world's gone crazy, it's that he's gone crazy. But no, I like
Oh.
that better. I like the fact that the Miltank. Although if nobody's noticing the fact that the cows have all gone from walking around on two legs to walking around or on four legs to
Yeah.
walking around on just two legs, and instead of just being regular cows, they're standing there shaking their udders provocatively. Um,
Taking
um,
their udders provocatively.
well,
I mean,
if you
you're
have a
not
better way,
wrong.
if you
No,
have a better way
there's
to
literally
describe it, I'd
no
like
other way to describe it. Just shaking their udders provocatively. Yes, you're
so many
correct,
good
sir.
sentences. So many good sentences this week. It really is an
It really
embarrassment of
is. Yeah,
riches.
it
Yeah.
really is an embarrassment of riches. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Brian. I like it. I like a little zombie twist at the end. That sounds fine. My movie is just going to be called Cows with an exclamation point at the end.
No.
Um, Yeah. And basically, it's going to be the story of two best friend cows who realize what their lot in life is just to create milk for the man. And they're like, we
Okay.
are better than this. We are more than this. We should be more than that. And they discover that the way that they can prove that they're worth more than this is they will come up with a word for what they are that can unify
They will
all
come up with a
bovines.
word.
Yes,
Okay.
to describe what they
So
are.
they
Yeah,
need to
because
unite the bovines.
yeah, uniting the bovines in cow love. They're gonna get together all the heifers. They're gonna get together the steer. They're gonna get together the bulls. Everybody's gonna come together under one umbrella, and this word will be the word that unites them.
This
And
word will be the word.
it is. It's gonna raise them up to where they could become the apex predators of all of basically of all of Earth. Like they're gonna be the
Will they
top.
destroy Ohio?
I mean, they're gonna destroy everything, but they'll probably start with Ohio.
Okay, good,
Um, which
because
also
Ohio,
I just had a Far Side pop in my head, which I have to make mention of because it's great. Oh no, it's not a Far Side. It's an episode of The Simpsons where Phil Hartman is voicing the voice of one of like the scientists on the show,
Oh
and
yeah,
they're talking about how they need to kill cows and because cows are dangerous. And he looks and goes, "Don't kid yourself, Timmy. Given half a chance, that cow would kill you and everyone you care about." And I just love that
I love
line.
Phil Hartman. Yeah.
Phil Hartman
Anyways,
was the best. Yes. Anyhow. Back to my movie pitch. I'm sorry, but yeah, these cows would kill you and everyone you care about because they just need to be united so that they can rise to the top where they belong. But they need a word first, and they don't know how to find this word. But then one of the best friend cows, it's Bessie and what was the other one? Jerk ass Betty, I think is
yes,
what
Betty. That's right. I think it was jerk ass Betty.
I think Jerk ass Betty and Bessie are best friends.
Yes.
And And Jerkass Betty has a vision. In order to find this word, she must seek out the wisest creature on Earth who will help her.
And that is.
And of course, this creature has blue skin, Brian, and a red cap.
It's a Smurf. Is it Papa Smurf? I hate this.
Smurf. It's Papa Smurf. She has to seek out Papa Smurf. So they hear about a Smurf gathering in a small town in France. They decide we need to make the trip to this small town in southern France because Papa Smurf will be there, and Papa Smurf
Knows everything.
he will have the answer. Yeah, he will have the answer to what our kind should be called. The key to unlock our unlimited power. As long as we can all be united under one word, we will rise to the top. So they travel to France, Jerkass Betty and Bessie. And it's not Jerkass Bessie. Bessie's fine.
Yeah, Jerkass Betty.
It's just Jerkass Betty. Yes, it's important that we make that distinction because every cow is different, Brian, as we've learned. And Betty's a sweetheart. She just happens to be friends with Jerkass Betty, who is tough. She's a tough cow. She's very adventuresome. Like she's the one that decides. She's the one that purchases the tickets.
She's the problem.
To France.
She's the problem one. Yes.
Yeah. She instigates a lot of problems, but she also finds a lot of solutions because she's a doer. So Jerkass Betty buys the tickets to France. They fly coach somehow because there's not like steerage where they could just usually you'd think. I don't think cows fly a lot. So probably purchasing a ticket would be difficult, especially if you're a cow and you have no access to internet because you have no opposable thumbs or fingers of any kind. Maybe she has a raccoon friend that she gets on the internet.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I think we need to introduce a raccoon buddy just because this still is the show after all.
It's true.
So the two cows stow away their buddy Rocco the raccoon in their luggage, and they fly to France. And they show up to find 3,076 people dressed like Smurfs. But alas, Brian, there is no
Papa Smurf.
Well, I mean, there's people dressed like Papa Smurf, but she thought there would be she thought there would actually be Papa Smurf. But Papa Smurf is a fictional character, and she's a cow. She didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And in the end, the bad guys, being the humans, win because the cows are not united because there is no word that brings them all together under one banner. And the cows lose. The cows are the good guys, but they lose because they can't find the real Papa Smurf. And then sad music plays. I'm thinking like the sad music, like the Charlie Brown sad music, where yeah. As they walk back. Yeah. Although to be fair, the cows did because of their desire to their quest, they learned how to make friends with raccoons, purchase internet tickets to fly to places. I mean, I feel like they've grown a lot through their journey, and really they learned that life is about the journey, not the destination. So it's kind of a uplifting lesson even through their defeat.
That's fair.
And and then they're made into steaks, and people at the end
that took a turn.
Well, it's kind of my thing now. Is we have to have some kind of twist ending at some point. I didn't drop nuclear bombs on anyone this week, so I feel like I'm growing as a person. Yeah,
you are growing as a person, so we like that.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. So, what can help you with growth? Sometimes, probably.
Is it grabbing a Q-tip box?
And, I mean, I think it would be, because I think something that can prohibit growth is if you have excessive earwax. So, I mean, even though you're not supposed to use them for that purpose, I think that grabbing some Q-tips really could help. But if you're gonna use Q-tips for personal growth, you really need to know how to do that properly, Brian. So how would you recommend learning how to use Q-tips?
I would absolutely recommend you flip that bad boy over and read the back of it.
Right, because Brian, you should always read the back.
Always read the back of the Q-tip box. Always read the back of the Q-tip box.
Untitled with Brian and Craig is produced and edited by me, Brian Dunnigan. It is also hosted by me, Brian Dunnigan, as well as Craig Dodge. Opening and ending themes are created by AI, so nobody has a license to those.